Money Moves with MIM 2.0, the podcast. And always remember, gentlemen, it's a motherfucking movie. So, guys, it has been brought to my attention and realization that every state that I go to, major cities like Atlanta, Los Angeles, Miami, Houston, that there's an increased number of modern American black men who are not homeowners, and these are black men of all ages. And what I notice is that if you go to any homeless place in the country, you'll see a large number of African American men who is homeless. A lot of these guys are, older men, but now we're seeing a large number of younger modern men, guys who are in their early 20s, men who are in their early 30s. And what I notice that a lot of these men are the guys who don't want to work a 9 to 5. A lot of these guys have the right idea, but not doing it the right way. We're hearing online and throughout the country, throughout America, and all these homeless camps, that a lot of these guys want to become rappers. A lot of these guys want their business to take off. A lot of these guys want to become influencers. And one of the heartbreaking things is a lot of these guys want to be DoorDash and gig workers. Your Uber Eats, your Lyfts, and stuff like that. And what I notice is that a lot of these guys be complaining about working a 9 to 5. Guys, I remember I was homeless in my early 20s and I didn't want to work a job. And then in my late 20s, I started working jobs and I'm like, oh my God, I made $40,000 this year. That's the impact a lot of these guys are not getting. That you be like, oh my God, I never made 40 grand. Never made 40 grand just hanging around, doing nothing. So obviously if I made 40 grand working a 9 to 5, then I'm doing something better than I was doing back then. And then I got to the point where I made 70 grand in a year. It's about $3,700 a month, or four grand a month. And what I noticed is that when I started to work a 9 to 5 and actually know that I'm a man and this is what I need to do, and men work, and they got jobs that's paying guys 50 grand, just to sweep up trash. They got jobs that's paying guys 50 grand a year just to clean, just to help people move. You make 60 grand just by working for a moving company. And what I noticed is that a lot of these modern American black men Like, they have their hood culture syndrome. You know, the YNs. These are a lot of these guys, either they go to prison and then they change after prison. Let me say that again. A lot of these dudes, these YNs who don't want to work a job, and they decide they want to be Scarface from the old school movie. They decide they want to be a mob boss or do something illegal, and then they end up losing 5-10 years, and then they realize what they was doing. Then a lot of times, a lot of these dudes change, and then they start working jobs later in their life because they have to. Because when you get out and you're on parole and you're on probation, the jobs make you working. And then the thing about it is, these guys make more money from working a job than they made being hood dudes, you know. So a lot of guys are out here homeless. They're out here homeless, you know, trying to figure it out. A lot of dudes be coming online complaining about a 9-to-5 they're working, when, guys, there's literally over millions of companies, millions of jobs. Like, I had a job. The only thing I did was drive around and set up signs, and basically I chilled. Like, I probably work like 2 hours out of the day, and I'm chilling for 8-10 hours the rest of the day, every day, you know. So what I notice is a lot of guys, you know, let their pride get to them, you know. But there is careers out here for everybody. Like, a lot of dudes want to be gig workers. They want to be successful being rappers, being successful being YouTube content creators or whatever. But they don't know that until this happens, you're going to have to do something to survive. You know, 9 times out of 10, there's millions of content creators, including myself, who has not become successful. And I've been working the whole time. So, you know, it's just the mindset to want to do something. The mindset to, you know, if I'm homeless, I don't have no bills, I could go get a job and I could keep that to myself, and I could be stacking money while I'm homeless. And a lot of guys end up being homeless, for chronically homeless, 5-10 years, because they don't want to learn money. You know, these are the guys who think they know everything. And it's not working for them at all. So this year, I want you guys to ask yourself, how much money did you make last year? And if you didn't make more than a McDonald's job, let me say that again. If you didn't make more than working for a Mickey D's McDonald's job, then the people who are working that McDonald's job and making 20-30 grand a year, and they've been staying down and they got another job on the side, you know, they're doing better in life than you, bro. You ain't even making no money. But guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna holler at you guys in the next video. Over and out.